Hi, Bruce Roth here. The first question I'd like to ask you is, how can you end the struggle to save money? More people than ever are struggling to save money. In our country, things have changed financially. There was a time when people could lock into pensions, but if you don't work for the government at the municipal, state, or federal level, it's next to impossible to find pensions. You're pretty much on your own as far as saving money. Most people are living paycheck to paycheck. So, the ability to have extra money after paying their expenses just is simply not there. What they believe is that they are saving as best as they can, and the truth is most people are stressed out about money 24/7. They believe there's no other path, but that simply isn't true. We've got a path to how you can reach financial security and permanent retirement. I want to share with you a little bit about how we can begin this journey, how we can eliminate the stress of worrying about money. Maybe the most important question is, what do you believe is possible for your life financially? Most people believe it's all about saving money and there is no other way. We believe this because we've been taught this since we were young. We were told set up a 401k and IRA and save as much as you can and then just hope it works out. The reality is that's not the only way for most people. It's not really a path at all because they simply can't save enough money. You probably keep trying because your belief systems are so strong that saving money is the only way. But you don't know what you don't know. If you all join me in this process of opening your mind to learning how the rich really get rich, then we can make a real difference in the wealth of your family. Do you think the rich get rich saving money in their 401k or IRA? Not really. You know they don't. There's a retirement crisis in this country. Elder poverty among baby boomers like me is at the highest levels since the 1930s. Boomers are in the worst financial shape since the Great Depression. 80% of Americans will run out of money within 5 years if they were to try to retire. That's how bad the situation is. Saving for retirement with a 401k or IRA has failed miserably. The 401k or IRA started back in around 1978, and it was to replace the pension. It doesn't work, and the reason it doesn't work is because people don't have much money to save after they pay all their expenses because of the high cost of living. Here in southern Nevada, the cost of living rises rapidly. There's a wealth crisis in America today at a level we haven't seen since the 1930s in this country. I want you to look at some of these numbers here. This is a report from Goldman Sachs. It was made last year. What you can see here, this column, and this column, that's the top 10% of people. This is what people in the 90th to the 99th percentile have, is 91% of the money. Let me say that again. 91% of the wealth is owned by only 10% of the people in the country. The middle class here, their percentage of wealth has gone down from 16% to 7%. The reason is that the struggle and the inability to save money has just gotten worse over time. Most people don't believe that there is a solution. But there is one. I'm going to show you how we can overcome the problem with our solution. Here's where the real problem is. Inflation is either your best friend or your worst enemy. What the rich know is how to use inflation to work for them to grow wealth, whereas the middle class and the poor don't. We teach at the Las Vegas Real Estate Wealth Academy how to do this. Most people have been taught and they believe that the best path is for them to get a job, get a 401k, and save as much as they can. The problem they run into is that inflation is burying them. This leaves their situation getting worse and worse. The real cost of inflation is eating them up. I mean, do I really have to tell you this? You look around at what houses cost, what rent is. In some cases, it's double what it was just a few years ago. If you don't know these wealth strategies, it's next to impossible to ever attain financial security. Never mind a retirement that will never run out. Home prices have been going up at an amazing clip. The last 10 years have seen prices more than double. This is why the average person, the middle class, is falling behind. That's just one key ingredient. But what does it mean to be rich? You know, when we were younger, many of us believed that a big house is what it meant to be rich, or to own a fancy car. That was a big part of it. Most people think that having a lot of money in their 401k or IRA, that isn't true either. Here's what it means to be rich. It means having a lot of non-employment income. Here's why I call it non-employment income. Most people focus on what they get paid on their job. When we ask someone what they are making per hour, per week, per month, they know, down to the penny usually. But when we ask them how much money they're making in non-employment income, they don't really know unless the answer is zero. Non-employment income is income. It could be Social Security, it could be pension, it could be investment income, but the key to your financial security isn't a big house, a fancy car, a 401k, or an IRA. It's how much income you are receiving when you're not working. For most people, it's little to none, and it's a blind spot. And the reason we're focusing on it here is that things only happen if you focus on them. So you need to focus on the path of building non-employment income. I'm going to show you here in this next two slides how, really, to be honest, how behind the eight ball you are. And also, as I go further, how you can create non-employment income that you need to be financially secure. Saving your way to wealth is almost impossible. Let me show you the math on this. Let's say you're 40 years old and you want to retire in 25 years at the age of 65. Your current expenses, this includes rent, house payment, car payments, credit card, insurance, food, everything, all your bills, everything wrapped up, everything that goes through your checking account, including entertainment. Let's say that's $4,000 a month. And let's say you're saving $400 a month, which, by the way, is about double what the average family is saving. And let's say you have $20,000 in your retirement account. Inflation has historically been about 3% over the past 100 years. Truth be told, it's been about 3.5% since the 1600s. Let's say that you get an average of 5% return on your retirement account. Now, also remember that this retirement accounts aren't free, and you're typically paying about 1.5, sometimes even 2%. So it means your return would have to be more like 6.5 or 7. The reality is most people are averaging closer to about 3.5 to 4% after all the fees are paid over the long haul. In 25 years, you'll have $307,000 saved, but your expenses will have more than doubled to $103,000 a year. If you were to retire and try to live on that, you can see that in just under 3 years, you'd run out of money. The monthly income that you'd have on a retirement of 307, that is, if you're getting a 5% return, is only $1,283. But your expenses, thanks to inflation, have gone up from $4,000 to $8,626 a month. So what that means is we have a 73-43 shortfall. So now the reality is that if you have $8,600 in expenses, you have to make about $10,000 or $11,000 because you're still going to have to pay tax on that. So if we add Social Security into the mix of maybe $2,000 a month, you're still nowhere close to being able to retire, at least not for very long. This is where 80% of the people in the United States are, and they don't believe there is a solution. They believe this because they think it's 100% about saving money. We know that this is not true. We can solve this problem without saving money. I'm not discouraging you from saving. Saving is a great thing, which can shortcut our process and dramatically improve your results. But saving by itself is not a real path to financial security for 80% of the people. Now, there are 5 questions that I call the critical questions. They're going to determine your financial future. And you need to know not just an answer, but the right answer. So, question number 1 is: are you planning on living on your life savings in a 401k or IRA to retire? This is the plan for 80% of the people. And I'm going to show you why. I already showed you why this is a terrible plan. Number 2, if your plan is to live on your life savings, have you ever bothered to calculate how long it will last? Very few people ever do this analysis. We have a retirement calculator or future retirement calculator, but many companies have these. You can find them all over the internet. But the truth is, almost no one ever uses them. You need to do this analysis based on what you have and what you're saving and inflation. What are you going to be? What shape are you going to be in? How long is your money going to last? In most cases, as I've said already, 80% of the people are going to run out of money in less than 5 years. And the truth is about 70% of the people are going to run out in less than 2 years. Next, do you know what your monthly expenses are going to be at the time of retirement? Have you done the calculation? As I showed you in the generic analysis, based in about 22 to 23 years with inflation, your expenses are going to double. So total up all your expenses for your lifestyle, the way you want to live. I assume you want to keep living the same way. If you're 40, your expenses will double by the time you retire, even living the same basic lifestyle. And that's the bar. And the truth is, if you live another 20 or 25 years past retirement age, they're going to double again. You're going to have to get over this hurdle if you're going to be able to retire permanently. And then once we know that number, let's say hypothetically it's $8,000 a month, do you have any idea how you're going to create $8,000 a month? And keep in mind that $8,000 a month is after taxes. So it's closer to $10,000 or $11,000 a month before taxes. Do you know how you're going to create that kind of retirement income so that you can retire permanently? Very few people have any clue about this. And then lastly, do you know how you're going to protect your wealth from either a major economic calamity, or it could be like a lawsuit, something like that? But we want to make you financially bulletproof so that you can weather a major recession or some kind of a legal event. Well, there's a well-established path to it. There are these 5 critical questions which you need to have the right answers to. That's part of what I can provide with our custom plan for you as a real estate wealth advisor. We're going to help you end financial uncertainty, build real wealth and income, and even leave a legacy of wealth. So when you leave this planet, your loved ones will be in a good place. All of that is possible without the need to save money, as hard as that seems for most people to believe. I've seen in my own lifetime people who have the right answers to these questions and a plan end up living an abundant retirement and leaving money to their children and causes they care about. 90% of the people never change their life circumstances. Poor stay poor, middle class stay middle class, and the rich stay rich. The main reason is that they believe what they believe. Only by changing their beliefs can they change their outcomes. So the question is, what do you believe is possible for you? I'm going to tell you the simple truth. That is, what you believe is possible and what are actually possible are 2 radically different things. You can accomplish so much more just by changing your beliefs. For most of us, the best way forward is with some direction. The reason it's so hard is that you don't know what you don't know. There are powerful ways that you can reach financial security and way beyond financial security, even build serious levels of wealth. Our biggest challenge is getting you to believe. If you open your mind to what is possible, the next step is the know-how, and that's where the Wealth Academy comes in. We are all about teaching you, educating you how to overcome the struggle to save. From there, the number one thing you need to do is take action now. As your advisor, I will spend time and guide you through the process. We're going to teach you and guide you to your destination of financial security, wealth, and even leaving a legacy of wealth. There's a lot of hand-holding to be done. We need to spend time so you know exactly what to do step by step, because it's not that simple. It takes expertise. It takes knowledge. That's why the advisors like me are so critical to your journey to financial security and wealth. As you can see, you first must believe to reach your goal. Then you must acquire the knowledge to reach the goal. Then and only then can you take the necessary action to reach your goal. Without any one of these ingredients, you just won't make it. One of my favorite quotes from Henry Ford and Abe Lincoln both: if you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. What this means is that you'll get in your life mostly what you believe. So if you believe your life can't get any better, if you believe that you're financially destined to struggle till the day you die, then you're right, and that will come to pass. But if you believe that there's a better way, that there's a path to financial security, and you will take action to reach out and begin to seek the knowledge, to learn, and we can help you with that, you can change your life in a powerful and profound way. Do wealth workshops on a regular basis. In order to register now for an upcoming workshop, or if you have questions, shoot us an email at lasvegasbruce@gmail.com or call us at 702-277-1303, and we'll talk about what is possible, because what is possible for your life financially is so beyond what you believe. When you learn what is possible, you're going to be excited. We hope to see you soon.